Are you guys tired of this cold, long winter? I know I am. So to keep myself optimistic, I've been pretending it's summer in the studio. Does anyone know where I can get a Mai Tai? For this pattern, I was inspired by some vintage 60s patterns that I have in my studio, and I thought, let's make the perfect, cute little blouse. This style is easy to sew up and you can make it out of so many different types of fabric, so this is definitely a great staple pattern to have in your wardrobe. Even if you're not sewing this blouse right now, this video is gonna have all kinds of great sewing tips along the way, so you're guaranteed to learn something. Okay, y'all ready to pretend like it's summer? Let's get started on creating this blouse.
This is my island in the sun.
The first thing you need to do is print out your pattern and determine what size you need to cut out. So grab your tape measure and you're gonna wanna measure your bust. So the fullest part of your bust and then find it in the chart. This pattern comes in sizes extra small through 5X. And you can choose to print it at home on your home printer, or you can send it in and have a large format copy printed. Once you take your bust measurement, locate it in the chart over here, and if you're in between a few sizes, go with the larger size. So find your size and then cut it out of the paper. Sewing tip. On this pattern, you're really gonna wanna make sure that you mark your notches on your fabric. So 2 notches for the back and 1 notch for the front. And this is the same for all patterns universally, 2 notches for the back, 1 notch for the front. You're also gonna have them in the armholes on the sleeve. 2 notches for the back, 1 notch for the front. Now these patterns look very similar back to front, but they are different. So it's gonna be really important that you mark your notches on this pattern, so that way you sew your shirt together properly and you don't sew a front to a back by accident. And marking these notches is a step you're going to do after you cut out your fabric, which I've already done, so let's go over the pieces. So I have the back bodice here, and we're identifying it by the 2 back notches here for the armhole. Up front, we've got the front bodice, and we've got the 1 notch marked here, identifying it as the front bodice. And then our sleeve up here, we've got the 2 notches for the back armhole and the 1 notch for the front armhole. And that's it. Those are all the pieces you need to create this blouse. But if you want to add a little more flair to it, you could always add a ruffle at the hem. So I've cut out some 5-inch strips of fabric and I'm going to gather it up and put it on the hem of the blouse at the very end. But if ruffles aren't your thing, no worries, totally make it without a ruffle. You could even add a ruffle to the neck or to the sleeve, or maybe you could add some pleats or an applique to the front or rhinestone polka dots. Take this blouse and make it your style, and I would love to see it, so make sure you send me photos. Now that we have all of our fabric cut out, we need to finish our edges. I'm going to be serging all my edges today. You might be wondering, why do I need to finish the edges of my fabric? Well, if we don't do that, your fabric's gonna fray and fall apart when you're wearing it or when you're washing it. And we want this blouse to last all summer long and more summers to come. And if you don't have a serger, no worries, you can always zigzag or overcast your edges. And if you don't know how to do that, make sure you check out my videos on that. There'll be a link down below in the description. Time to serge. Now that we have all of our edges finished, we're gonna get into sewing up this blouse. The first thing we're gonna do is sew up these shoulder darts. So we need to chalk on our sewing line. So we're gonna grab a chalking tool and a ruler and let's draw it on. This cutout V shape right here is the dart on the shoulder. So we wanna fold the fabric right sides together, line up the dart legs there. There's a 1/2-inch seam allowance included in this. So we wanna make sure that we're drawing a 1/2 inch out from the very edge. Now, when you get to the tip here, we don't want to come straight off because that's going to leave a funny little point on our shirt. So what we want to do is make sure that we're blending off on a nice curve into the top of the shoulder here. Make sure you're back stitching at the beginning of this, and don't forget that this dart needs to curve at the end. So that way it blends right into the shoulder seam. See how I'm curving it right there? And then when you get to the end, a couple back stitches and cut. And you're gonna do the exact same thing to your other dart. Okay, the darts are finished. Now it's time to sew on our sleeves. If you're enjoying sewing along with me today, make sure you subscribe to Sew Anastasia and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching and sewing along with me today. Now let's get back to finishing up our blouse. So now we've got it laid out. So I've got the front of the bodice, the back of the bodice, and the sleeves. Now it's really important to make sure that you have the one notch, which is the front, lined up with the one notch on the sleeve. And then same thing for the back. So 2 notches on the back and 2 notches on the back of the sleeve. And now when we sew these, it's always right sides together. So we're gonna make sure that we flip them right sides together. And you're gonna notice that these are different shapes of curves, and that's totally fine. This is so it curves nicely over the body. So what you're gonna need to do is start pinning at the top, keep lining up your edges, and work your way all the way to the bottom. So we're gonna flip right sides together and pin together this line here on both pieces. So the easiest way to pin this is pin one end, pin the other end, and then even it out as you go. So because these are 2 different curves, sometimes the curve that's cut in deeper will stretch a little more than the other curve, so you have to work it around it, but they will fit and line up. There we go. So now you want to go ahead and pin all of your arm lines for the raglan sleeve. So basically, we're going to finish pinning the other side of the sleeve to this curve here. And now this sleeve here, we're gonna pin these 2 curves together and then these 2 curves together. Voila! You can really see it's starting to come together. Now we need to go sew where I've pinned all those lines. And don't forget 1/2 inch seam allowance. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and the end of your seams and sew up all 4 of them. Now we're done sewing down the sleeves. Check it out, it is looking like a shirt. Our seams are looking beautiful. Now we're gonna sew up the side seam and the underarm on the shirt all at the same time. Now when you're doing this, you need to make sure you're lining up the underarm seam perfectly and make sure your seam allowances are pressed open when you're doing this, so that way it's going to lay nice and flat. So now we're gonna pin up the side seam and the underarm seam, and then we're gonna sew it down. And we're gonna do this to both sides. We have our side seams and our under seams sewn up, and it is looking great. I also went ahead and ironed up the hem on the sleeves, which is 1 inch. So you're gonna notice that fold line on the pattern, and that's exactly where you need to iron it. We're almost there. Let's talk about how we're going to finish all of our openings, and I'm gonna give you a few options. The sleeve opening is pretty straightforward. Now that we have it ironed to the inside, we're just gonna stitch it down right next to the serge or right next to your finished edge, and that will finish it off beautifully. For the neck, you have a few options. The simplest option is taking it and turning it towards the inside about 3/8 of an inch and then stitching it down. Because these are curves, make sure you are not stretching these when you're sewing it. Otherwise, you might end up with a wobbly neck. Nobody wants that. Your second option is getting a piece of bias tape and creating a bias facing around the neck. And I'm going to choose that option for finishing the neck. You could also finish the neck with an actual bias binding as well, cupping the outside and the inside, and I would make this out of the same fabric you made your blouse out of if you're going to do the bias binding. To sew down the bias facing, I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to place the right side of the facing to the right side of the fabric. I'm gonna make sure I fold in that raw edge, lining it up with a seam. Now I'm going to open this up and stitch in the fold there all the way around the neck. And once that's on, we're gonna take it and we're gonna flip it to the inside of the garment. So we're flipping the whole entire piece of bias facing to the inside, and then we're going to stitch it down all the way around the neck opening, and then we're gonna have a beautifully finished edge on the top of the neck and on the inside of the garment at the neck. To finish the opening of the shirt, you can choose to fold up the bottom just 3/8 of an inch and stitch it down, or you could do a rolled hem and then stitch it down, or you could do a blind hem as well. And if you need help with those, make sure you check out my videos on them. Or you could add a ruffle. I've cut a ruffle length here, and I'm going to be adding a ruffle to mine because I think it's gonna make it just so cute. And to do that, you're gonna need to cut a really long length of fabric and make it twice as wide as you would like your ruffle, and then fold it in half and finish your edges together. And then you're gonna run a basting stitch along the edge that has your serge or finishing, and then you're going to gather it up, place it right sides together on the shirt, stitch it down, flip it back, and then give it a little edge stitch, and you're gonna end up with a super cute ruffle at the bottom of your shirt. And after you complete the ruffle, you'll be done. Here it is. We finish our blouse with our added ruffle. So let's check out what we did. So we added those shoulder darts. We put on our beautiful bias facing to have a nice clean edge up here. We have our raglan seams on the front and the back of the shirt. And then we also have our 1-inch hem here. And then for extra fun, we added a ruffle to the bottom. Remember, you don't have to add a ruffle, or you totally can. And it looks great on. It fits great. I love it in this hot pink satin. It is just to die for. I love the way it catches the light. And don't forget, you can have your own take on this. You could do it in a lace with no ruffle. You could do it in a red crepe with a ruffle. You could add rhinestones to it. You could do so many different creative things with this shirt. Or you could just make a ton of them up in every single color possible without the ruffle. Keep it super simple, and then you'll have new tops all summer long. Are you feeling the summer vibes in this? If you make up this blouse, I would love to see it, so make sure you tag me in it so that way I can share it with everyone. And don't forget, you can download the pattern at sewinganastasia.com under digital patterns. Thanks so much for watching today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, give it some applause, and leave a comment down below. I'd love to know what you thought of the video. And don't forget to subscribe to Sewing Anastasia and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching Sewing Anastasia today. And don't forget, I teach sewing classes in my design studio here in Chicago, Illinois. And you can also sign up for virtual private lessons, and super exciting, we're going to be starting, there goes my earring. So exciting, my earring just fell off. We are starting the Sewing Anastasia Sewing Academy, so keep an eye out for that this spring. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, and all the social media, so that way we can stay connected and creative together, and you can see what's new in the design studio. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.